Have you ever stopped to think about how a band, after decades, can still sound so vital, so themselves?
Yeah.
It's this, delicate dance, isn't it? Evolving, but not ditching what made you love them.
Exactly.
Today, we're going to take a deep dive right into that question. We're using the latest album from the legendary German thrash band Sodom, the Arsonist, as our main example here.
That's right. And we've looked at, well, quite a few reviews of The Arsonist to give you a really full picture. Our goal, really, is to understand how a classic band like Sodom handles the, let's face it, pretty strict boundaries of thrash metal. How they manage to, evolve their sound but stay totally true to their roots and still put out compelling new stuff. It's a fascinating balancing act.
Okay, let's unpack that. Because when you talk classic German thrash, Sodom often comes up as maybe the band that best balances sticking to their guns and subtly changing things up.
Right.
That's a seriously tough thing to do, especially in thrash. So how have they become such a sort of shining example of handling that tension?
It's quite a journey they've been on. What's really interesting is how they haven't just kept their identity. They've actually, sharpened it over time.
Okay.
Even thinking back, those albums with Burnham and Koss on guitar, they had this amazing melodic depth. But crucially, they never lost that raw, kind of rabid aggression you expect.
Yeah, that signature sound.
Exactly. Then, when guitarist Frank Blackfire came back, some of those first releases felt a little, maybe a bit too much like a throwback.
A bit safe, maybe.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe treading old ground. But The Arsonist, this new one, it shows they've mastered putting it all back together. It doesn't sound like they're trying to recapture the past. It sounds like Sodom doing what they do best, but fully tuned for the 21st century, using their history, not being stuck in it.
That's a really key difference. Because I remember Genesis 9X, their album from 2020, got a bit of a mixed bag reaction, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
Some sources call it, loose? Even a significant step down.
Some felt that way.
So how does the Arsonist build on that without feeling like some huge course correction? How does it end up feeling like a logical continuation instead? What did they do to prove this lineup really works?
That's a great question, and it really gets to the heart of the Arsonist. It absolutely proves this lineup's strength, and it does it by, leaning hard into the aggressive side of Sodom. You can really hear their raw, punky Motorhead roots woven through it all, but it's not just repeating things.
Right.
What's really cool and kind of a neat insight from the reviews is how often it sounds like a missing link between thrash metal and very early death metal.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, there are these frantic kind of buzzing, tremolo picking parts. They create this intense wall of sound aggression. It's a technique you really associate with early death metal, so it pushes the boundaries of, standard thrash.
I definitely felt that intensity. And talking about sound, the production, it feels modern and clear, but it also has this distinct old school feel. How hard is that to pull off? To not sound dated, but also not too polished.
That's a crucial point. They seem to have deliberately avoided that super modern sheen that can sometimes, strip away the raw power.
Yeah, it can sound a bit sterile sometimes.
Exactly. It shows they really understand their own sound. And here's a cool little detail for the audio nerds listening.
Okay.
The drums on Scavenger, for example, recorded on a 24-track recorder, just like in the 80s.
Whoa, really? Old school.
Pretty damn old school.
Okay.
But it's not just for show. It gives the drums this raw analog punch, this natural space. It avoids that often over-compressed sound you get sometimes. It proves old techniques can still hit hard today.
That's a brilliant touch. Really connects it to their legacy, but keeps it fresh. Okay, moving beyond just the sound. The album title, The Arsonist. That's not just random, is it?
No, not at all. It's directly referencing the actual situation in the world we have these days.
Right.
You just, look at the news. The meaning becomes pretty starkly clear. A world in turmoil, basically.
And the cover art, Zbigniew Bielak, right? He did those ghost covers, too.
That's the one.
It shows a soldier in death, kind of reconciled, peaceful almost.
Yeah.
While their mascot, Narenheinz, is in the background in battle gear, just raging on. It creates this really uneasy, almost apocalyptic vibe. It's powerful stuff.
It absolutely is. Sets the stage perfectly for the music. But it's really in the tracks themselves, the specific songs, where you hear how Sodom pulls off this balancing act between their roots and pushing things forward.
Okay, so which tracks really nail that fusion? Let's dig into some highlights.
Well, you got to talk about the opener, Battle of Harvest Moon.
Yeah.
Just the sheer impact.
Yeah, it hits hard.
And one source made sure to point out, It's not about anime.
Ah, okay, good to know.
No, it's actually about a specific Vietnam War operation from December 1965. It's immediate, brutal.
Yeah.
Sets the tone perfectly.
And it sounds like it, too. You get that relentless, almost militaristic drumming, that staccato feel, just pure fury and destruction. Plus, there's that really dramatic, kind of haunting guitar solo, adds another layer to it. Yeah, it's a fantastic opener.
Totally agree. And speaking of classics, right after that, you get Witch Hunter.
Ah.
This is clearly an homage, a tribute to their late drummer, Christian Johannes Dudek. Chris Witch Hunter.
Yeah.
Passed away back in 2008, sadly.
Right.
And the track itself, it's pure Teutonic thrasher. You know, that raw, aggressive German thrash sound. It just breathes the atmosphere of their 80s, early 90s stuff. It's a really well-done, passionate song. Connects right back to their history.
It's great to hear that direct connection. Now, on the other end, maybe the Spirits that I called, that one's described as like one of the catchiest and shortest.
Yeah, definitely catchy.
Cool chorus, powerful riffs.
Yeah.
One reviewer thought it might have even fit best on Genesis 19. Feels a bit different.
It does have a slightly different vibe, and then you've got Taphophobia. That one's just raw, an unbridled beast, they called it.
Okay.
Like this mix of Motorhead punk snarl and those signature galloping thrash riffs. And Tom Angel Ripper on vocals sounds absolutely ferocious, just delivering that pure aggression you want from Sodom.
He really does sound completely pissed off on that track. It's pretty inspiring to hear that fire still burning so strong.
Indeed. And if you want to trip back to older Sodom, Return to God in Parts, that one really captures their mid-90s feel.
Oh, yeah. Like which albums?
Reminiscent of stuff like Masquerade in Blood or Code Red, you know, those slightly underrated ones.
Right.
It's just this brutal thrash assault. And Tom's vocals, again, incredibly diverse here. Screams, groans, even wheezes.
Wheezes.
Yeah, and you would not guess he's 62 years old hearing it.
Wow, 62 and still pulling that off. That's remarkable. The album really seems consistent then. You mentioned other tracks too, like Gun Without Groom being denser.
Bit more intricate.
And Sane Insanity is simpler but effective.
Brutally effective, yeah.
And for me, A Twilight Void really stood out. Dark, ominous, a real highlight. And Trigger Discipline, yeah, you can see why that was the first single. Just biting, immediate.
Definitely. So if we zoom out now, look at the overall picture. What does this all mean for Sodom? There are some minor critiques, sure.
Okay, like what?
Like nearly 50 minutes might be a bit long for this kind of thrash. Some parts maybe meander a bit. And the idea that it's maybe missing a real anthem, like a huge stadium chant kind of thing. But even the source mentioning that said it's complaining on a very high level.
Okay. Complaining on a very high level. That suggests these aren't deal breakers then.
Not at all.
So what parts are getting called out as like flawless or super professionally executed? How does it get such good reviews despite those small points?
It's because fundamentally The Arsonist is exactly the kind of album Sodom should be making right now. It's not about, you know, huge experiments or chasing trends. It's about refining their core sound to perfection. It is super professionally executed. And frankly, as one review put it, there aren't any flaws that really take away from the whole thing. The message coming through is, this is Sodom, totally dialed in, giving fans what they want, but with like renewed energy and focus.
So ultimately then, The Arsonist it's another really strong example of Sodom proving you don't need to totally modernize your sound to move forward.
Absolutely.
And the flip side, you don't need to make the exact same album over and over to stay true to who you are. It's a bit of a masterclass in evolving within those boundaries, isn't it?
It absolutely is. It's Sodom keeping that core aggression, but innovating in these subtle ways that feel completely natural and staying totally relevant without losing even an ounce of their identity.
And maybe that's the real takeaway here for you listening. Sodom's The Arsonist. It isn't just a great metal album. It's kind of a living example of artistic longevity. It makes you think about that bigger picture, doesn't it? Creativity over the long haul. How do established artists handle that tension? Satisfying the loyal fans who love the classic sound, but also pushing boundaries to stay fresh, stay relevant.
Yeah, it's a tough balance.
What does it really mean for a band, or any artist really, to move forward while staying true to themselves? Something to maybe mull over.